And this is from the front end, I guess. Do you have any back end search thing going on?
I should flip through one slide there, which is just in the admin panel you need to punch in a Bing API key. So that key, if you go over the 5,000 queries a month, then they'll make you pay a fee.
No, I meant like searching in the back end, like unpublished articles or images or...
Jetpack has OmniSearch. Jetpack has OmniSearch.
Does it?
Yeah, that searches the back end.
Okay.
Not sure if you want to install Jetpack just for that.
They're working on improving it too.
Yeah.
I'll just touch briefly. Sure. Okay, my name is Paal Joachim. And I have been kind of following with a few other groups who are now making plugins. They're called core plugins, or one of the names for WordPress. We're going to add features into 3.6. That was supposed to be released, I think, in May. But it was first released in August. And there are certain features there that they decided to take out, but he wanted to continue working with it. So he decided to make a plugin as kind of like a side thing to the regular WordPress as it develops. So he got together a team. Okay, I don't know any words. And that team has been building a plugin, and which they're kind of doing on the side of WordPress. And that plugin is called MP6. It improves icons, it has responsive design in the back end. You can change different colors. I would say the colors are really neon-y, pop artish. I don't have that many slides, so it doesn't really matter.
It's there, Ryan.
So, but the thing is, as I said in the beginning of the cycle, the two features were pulled out, icon aesthetics and post formats. And he was in charge of some of the icon aesthetics, and as I said, he wanted it in there. So he developed the plugin with a team, and over the course of 17 weeks, every week they released another update. And they can do that because it has to do with the plugin, not in WordPress core. So what they learned from this is that making core plugins is a really good way of developing WordPress. Because they're able to get smaller teams. Someone is leading it from the core team is leading it, and anybody can join in this if they want to. So I joined into a few other groups, and we're working on refreshing the widgets area. We're doing that. They're experimenting with it, some prototyping. They're also experimenting with content editing, how we create content, how we add content in WordPress. They are also experimenting with the dashboard. They're also doing stuff with the OmniSearch. There's huge lists at the developer site on WordPress.org.
Try to fix it.
Oh. So the thing is that if you want to get involved in what WordPress does, how it develops, go to their site. Or you can just go to my site, easywebdesigntutorials.com. I have a bunch of posts about what's going on. And also, WordPress has a huge list of what they're trying to improve. So I've downloaded their test prototype plugins, which you just basically play with and see what's going on right now. This started probably in the middle of August, right after Matt Molding's speech at WordCamp in San Francisco. Because this will be a development, they're doing this for 3.7, 3.8, that they're making these core plugins. And those plugins, they're going to add it later on into WordPress. So as I said, if you go to my website, easywebdesigntutorials.com, there's also IRC meetings. I have embedded IRC chat box into my website. So if you want to follow along what's going on and chat with the developers, chat with Matt's in there on occasion too. As I said, I embedded the chat into my website. So just you can see some of the times of what things and when things are going on. Usually on Monday and Tuesday evenings here, from maybe 6 to 9 or 10. So what's interesting is the changes that all of us can take part in. They're changing the themes, how you preview themes. I'm kind of pushing them also to include create a child theme into it. So we'll see. Okay, thank you guys. Okay. So basically what they learned from the process MP6, which turned into a plugin, it was supposed to be included into WordPress. They have kind of just continued developing it further on. It's grown bigger and bigger, but it's a small group. And everybody can take part in adding suggestions or modifying the prototype. So basically, it will be quicker releases. They have earlier, people can test out what's going on, check out and see what kind of errors that pop up. Less bottlenecks. Anybody can join in. There's clear leader. So as I said, the earlier you can get that daily usage, the better. Which when you get a prototype out there, people can test it. So they'll get feedback on the prototype and improve it. So decoupling the development from core, which they're doing through the core plugins, end up being the best thing and provides an interesting model for 3.8. That's what Matt said in the speech. And also in 3.7, all the development of features will be done independent units as plugin. So this is, as I said, a really nice approach to what's going on as well. Okay, so here's a list of what's going on. I'll click it, and so you'll see the website where it is. So MP6 has to do with the admin. Changes that admin responsive site. You can choose different colors. I don't really like the colors right now. I know they're saying, oh, maybe and stuff like that, but the colors are, as I say, really neon colors. It's kind of iffy. They're doing Omni search. I'm not really following along with that. Featured content. It's kind of like a post list on the page. Widgets. I'm doing stuff there. I'm making some wireframes, stuff like that, and they're testing out different methods. So this has to do with content user experience. As I said, how you do the content experience. Okay, media library, they made some changes. When you add media, you get a real nice box with different thumbnails. That was new for the latest version, or version before that. THX has to do with theming, or looking at the previewing themes. And you can see others here as well. They're working on front-end editor. So I'm going to click it first. Okay, so make.wordpress.org is a good place to go. If you're interested in what's going on, just write that address right there. So this is the list. But I usually go to the page right there. This is what I follow here. So there are different notes, what's going on, updates to prototypes. Prototypes are just kind of released with some of the groups. They're still working on wireframing, stuff like that as well. So basically, this is my website. Each website tutorials. Under WordPress, I have a developer section. I also have a developer IRC. Because I kind of asked them if they were going to embed and make their own page with IRC, because here it says you have to go to free node, and the layout is pretty bad. So I'll just quickly log in here. This automatically takes me into these chat rooms: WordPress UI, WordPress core plugins, WordPress development, and WordPress. So basically, I'm joining these channels. I'm checking out when something is going on makewordpress.org. Seeing the time, and just kind of entering here and just chatting with others. What's going on? Checking out what's going on. I've installed a few different plugins then. Okay, I'm in localhost. This is just a test site. So this flag here has to do with MP6. So I don't really like it, but it's kind of something I'm used to, I guess. So I go to users and my profile or your profile, and I can change it. I can change it to seaweed. As I said, they're kind of neon colors. I don't like these colors. I hope they do some of the more traditional colors, but I think they will too. So, and you can make your own color scheme as well. I'll just go back to MP6. And this is responsive then. Much better than what it is today. Okay, a few other things. Let's see, we had then the appearance and widgets prototype that they're working on. We're just trying different ways of doing this. So basically, if you want to try it out, just download the plugins and test out the different things.
Is there a widget plugin work? It's like, is it,
Not much. A little bit.
will I trash my site or run?
These are test prototypes. Don't use them on the live site. I'm just being really secure. I'm just using on a local host site. I've installed the site through MAM. I would not install these prototypes on a live site. Huh? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. It shouldn't crash, but one never knows. These are just alphas or really some of the early prototypes. So this, most of them will not work. You will just kind of try out different things you drag and see what works and what doesn't. It will work a little bit, but not. So this is the widget direction it's going, or we'll find out. Let's see, themes. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter if you put it on your live site. Okay, this is really big. So this is just a little bit different than what they're looking at right now. So remember, these are work in progress. These are early prototypes. Okay, the content blocks. Test or whatever. You type in something here. Make some modifications. I can add a content block below. And you can just see the direction where it's going. So I really like following along what's going on, trying to contribute as much as I can. I'm coming with different ideas. They'll tell me, no, that's not possible. Or maybe it is. Okay. I think that was most of what I had. Okay, I think that's what I got, most of what I got. So the thing is that, just remember that when WordPress is going to make its changes, they're going to do it through core plugins. I'm calling it core plugins, but they're plugins that are made by Automatic and whoever else wants to take part in it. And that's a good way of developing WordPress. Because they can develop this on the side of the core. And people can try it out, they get feedback, they get modifications. A lot of things, a lot of good things with this. So, okay, I think that's it. Just ask me questions if you have any. Yep.
Am I right understanding you that these core plugins will be embedded within core?
That's what they're aiming for
Yeah.
over time. But they will be modified, they will be adjusted, and when the time comes, it will be incorporated into core.
So if there's like features one really think should be embedded within the core, one approach to actually achieve that would be to try to get it included in one of the core plugins.
Right.
Yeah.
And for instance, a guy, one of the core developers tried getting pages and menus merged. He didn't have enough people who thought it was a good idea, so it's on hold. So one can suggest ideas here, and if there's enough people coming together, I think it's a good idea. Talk with some of the core developers. It can be put on the list here, because this will change as new things come to it. Yeah.
One of the things I did feature. What is
Featured content has to do with list postings. Getting the featured posts gathered in a list on a page. So that's what I mean. So right now I looked at it and it basically said a Jetpack. I also asked them that there's a lot of features in Jetpack that should be added into core. There's also some widgets in Jetpack that I asked that if they can also incorporate that into the widgets plugin here. And they're thinking about doing that. Because when I go to let's see, where's the featured content? So it basically featured content displays. In here too, they have a plugin, but and so I'll also send the person to the description of Jetpacks. Okay, and Ron?
Now this happened, or was announced a few days ago, but I can't remember. There was a feature in core that's now being used for core plugin. Do you know what that is?
I know that MP6 started out in core, but
this one's been in core a while. I just can't think of what it was.
okay, no, I don't know anything about that.
Oh, I know what you mean. Post by email.
Oh yeah, that's it. Post by email.
Yeah, someone's yeah, it's probably a plugin too.
That was a Google Summer Code project, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. So it looks like they've added that to Jetpack as well. So they might just put that into a plugin instead. Because this way of developing WordPress is a really good way of doing it. Because core will just have its kind of updates, and the core are bigger features that need more time to kind of be adjusted by users or new ideas need to come to. Okay. Any other thoughts, ideas? And as I said, if you want to check it out closer, just do that yourself. If you want to get more involved.
One bit input as to why they're doing that. One of the problems was that the likes of me, a whole bunch of other people actually run the Edge WordPress trunk on our live sites. Sometimes leads to our sites breaking, but none of us broken today is plugins. So by splitting it off into plugins, means people can continue to run trunk on their live site without having it broken today.
Right.
Very, some of them really rough.
Yeah, these are extremely rough. But they'll also say on the description too that it should not be used on the live site, for instance. MP6 might be still saying that, even that that's kind of like the first core plugin, saying that way it existed for a while now. Test out different things, see what it says in the description. And as I said, these are just really early prototypes. And a lot of this should be finished by when 3.8 comes out in the beginning of December. That's the aim. They're aiming for a bunch of these to be finished by that time. So we'll see how things continue on when different groups start up. I don't know how that is, but these are groups that started here in the middle of August. So. Okay. Varsågod.